I think I'm going to wait until we get a wave of foreclosures before I start the house hunting process. The pandemic is sure to crash the housing market. I'll just rent a little bit longer. My friend said the housing market is beginning to slow down. Yes, at the beginning of the pandemic, there were millions of homeowners that applied for forbearance. Here's a graph just to show you the amount of people that applied for forbearance at the beginning of the pandemic. As you can see, it was in the millions, but as far as where we're at now, it's obviously significantly less. A big reason why it's less is that the banks have worked with homeowners to get them back into making their monthly payments and get them out of forbearance. Here's another slide just to show how many properties were in foreclosure in 2017, 18, 19, and 20. We're way under that mark, mostly due to the forbearance. And even if we were to get 270,000 properties into foreclosure, we would still be where we were 3 years ago. And for those saying that the housing bubble that we're in is caused by these loose lending practices, as you can see through this graph, it is absolutely false. For those that have bought recently, you guys can attest, it is not easy to get a home loan, and it's only getting harder. And like I've said in the past, the biggest factor that can slow down this housing market is going to be interest rates. And it is clear that we already hit the historic low point as far as interest rates go. And if they were to get back up into the fours, which they will be, that's where we were before the pandemic, and the housing market was already strong. Yes, this market is crazy hot and very competitive. But it is our job as realtors to just get this information out there, because the headlines, they do more to terrify than they do to clarify what's actually happening. But if at the end you're gonna wait, just be ready, save all your money, because you're gonna be competing against the same buyers that are in the game now, all cash buyers. So if you really want to scoop up a foreclosure property in the near future, be ready to have all cash, because the reality is that's going to be the only way to compete as they begin to hit the market. I'll end with this slide because it's my favorite. Those buyers or the naysayers that said it was a good idea to wait left about $50,000 on the table last year, or when the pandemic hit. So just let that sink in a little bit longer, because all experts predict a strong housing market going on for the next 2 years at least. And equity is the true wealth of any homeowner.